Hi guys, welcome back to Harry Makes It Up. I am so excited today because I have a very special guest. I have my lovely friend Madeline. You might know her as Le Madeline on YouTube. She does some amazing film style photography, beautiful edits as well. She's like brilliant with a Super 8 camera, so definitely check her out as well if you're interested in that. I'm going to put all her links below, and today we wanted to talk about vegan makeup. Madeline's been vegan for 3 years, and we just wanted to chat to you guys about kind of the products that she knows she loves, tried and tested, products that I like to use in my pro kit. And we're going to play with colour today as well a little bit, colour and texture. So everything you'll see in the video is vegan. Some are from brands that aren't 100% vegan, but all the products shown will be vegan individually. So I hope that sounds good, and keep watching. And the next product I'm going to use is from Wonder Beauty, and this is the Glow Ahead Face Oil, which I really, really love. I love the pipette on it as well. I'm going to show you guys the pipette. It's like this really cool, in that literally you can get like just one drop if you want one drop. Little things please me.
Wait, what brand is this?
This is Wonder Beauty, and they have a section on their website that discloses all the vegan products.
Yeah, that looks cool.
So I'm really into face oils. I just feel like face oils are nice because you can mix them into your foundation, you can mix them into your concealer. I feel like you get a lot of scope with how you want to use them.
Do you use this in replace of a moisturizer?
Yes, sometimes. I feel like you can just I feel like with base products, they work really nicely. So I'm just giving Madeline's skin a little drink, a little massage, get it all in. Madeline, you've got to tell us where your amazing earrings from. So cool.
Oh my gosh, I got them
So
from...
cool. Let's give like a full on like, ta-da!
They're so fun. It was like collab with my friend Gemma. She has her own clothing brand.
Oh, wow.
I'll have to give you...
Yeah, we'll put a link.
Yeah.
That sounds so cool. So I'm just working that in, getting the blood flow to the surface. So next I'm going to go on to Madeline's base, and you've used this for a little while, haven't you? The Make
Yes.
Beauty foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, you will have seen this in some of my older videos, but this is the Soft Focus foundation, and I think your shade is nearly rubbed off. Do you remember which shade you are?
No. I've had this for so long.
But that is when you know someone loves their foundation. I like that. So I'm just doing a little bit on the back of my hand. And all the brushes I'm using today are synthetic, guys, as well. So I'm going to take a stipple brush. And I'm just going to start. I always like to start in the center and then kind of work out where you need the most coverage and then shear it out to nothing. And Madeline's got the cutest little freckles, so we want to keep those. All about the freckle love. And that oil's just almost acting like a primer and a moisture giver to the skin. So it just helps everything blend that little bit more evenly.
It looks so nice and like dewy.
Isn't it pretty with the oil
Yeah.
underneath? I think it just gives you that like really fresh,
Yeah, it looks
you
so
glowy
good.
without any highlighter, which is great. Now for concealer, most of Cover FX range, I believe, is vegan, if not the entirety. Again, everything will be linked with in the description box rather. So this is the Power Play Concealer, and I'm going to use the shade N Light 2 on Madeline. It has this kind of funky little ball shape, which is fun. Now, this is a more intense concealer. This is very good coverage, and I feel like less is more. So you kind of want to start with less and then just see where you need to apply. I love the Real Techniques brushes, especially the setting brush is really, really good for concealer. So we're just going to take a little bit of that just under the eyes. And this is a nice fluffy brush as well, so it kind of blends it out really easily. Does most of the work for you. So next product, I'm going to do a bit of eye primer. This is the Wonder Beauty Smooth Sailing 360 Eye Primer. It has a little bit of a tint in, but we're just going to use this just on the eyelid just to make a nice even canvas. So then going in with this M Cosmetics brow pencil. I like that it's got a good spoolie on the end and it's really, really fine. And the shade is Deep Taupe. Now, Madeline, you have like my dream brows. Because I love how straight your brows are.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's so cool. Like I'm not going to kind of go too, I don't want to do too much to your like lower arch. I like
Yeah.
how straight it is. So I'm just going to emphasize that a bit because I think it's such a cool shape. Like I feel like you've got a nice, you can almost even go like straight across, like quite androgynous, and it would really suit you.
That'd be cool, actually. I should play
Yeah.
around with that.
You should. I feel like I'm making it a little bit straighter than what it is normally. Just kind of like taking it across a
looks
little
cute.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to play up. Like, don't forget, you can always play with eyebrows. And I think eyebrows do change your face. So it's one of those things
Totally.
that like just changing that and doing nothing else sometimes is really cool, just to give
Yeah.
yourself a slight different look. But just filling in anywhere there's any little gaps. And again, I'm going to keep it quite straight again as well here, just because it's fun and something different. So then I'm going to just set those a little bit with some brow gel. I'm going to use the Hourglass. This is the brow sculpting gel. I'm just going to use clear because I feel like once you've got kind of the pigment on you don't really want to take too much more colour into them. And I like a few kind of random hairs as well. So there's a bit more, not too perfect. And that's a good way as well, especially if you are taking your brow a bit straighter, just to kind of make sure the direction goes off to a slight more of a straight edge. So one of the things I use an awful lot in my pro kit, guys, are the Bodyography. These like the press glitters. So I'm not going to pull the thing off, otherwise this will go all over Madeline right now. I'm going to hold it to there so you can see the kind of sheen and the tone, because I'm feeling a bit matchy-matchy today. And this tone is called Supernova, and it's a really pretty colour in that it's got like greens and golds in. So it's actually more like bluey.
Oh, I love that.
Than greeny. But I think, it's nice now how many formulations within vegan products actually bringing out really great colour products now. So this is one of those products that you can see I've got it on my finger. I actually think it's easier to apply with your finger to start with. So if you close me. So I am just going to, I love. And I just start with it like in the majority in the centre of the lid. And then just start to wash it. So don't worry about looking messy. You're just using this to get your initial base of pigment on. And it almost has the appearance of like a cream wet shadow. So I'm just buffing that backwards and forwards, just over the top. And then that way as well, when you next go back in to like layer up, you've got a bit of blending work done. But that is so pretty on you.
With eyeshadow, I never know what to do by like the corner of my eye. Like, do I flip it up or do I blend it out?
You could do either. I think it depends on what look you're trying to achieve, really. Do you prefer it more winged out or do you prefer it more rounded?
I don't know, actually.
I mean, I would say I'm ever so slightly winging it from a soft round, if that makes sense.
Okay.
To kind of to keep it quite like a soft shape.
Yeah.
Like you could totally wing yours as well. But I feel like what I tend to do with most people is I start soft, knowing that I always try to make the eye go a little bit longer. So even if I'm going like round, like I'm pulling it out to here almost.
Right.
And that's kind of ever so slightly winging it, but not in a way that it's obvious it's like a winged look.
Yeah.
Good question, Madeline.
It's tricky.
I love it. Like I can almost just feather it backwards and forwards in a straight line, parallel with the brow. But it still stays soft then. It's not like you're going into like a really sort of super 80s look.
Yeah.
Which I'm down with too. That's cool. But yeah. And also I think the best trick is if ever you feel like it's kind of becoming stressful as you're blending, just go to a bigger brush. So just take another fluffy brush and then just go over.
So that it blends more?
Yeah. And also you're just kind of like making the ends slightly fainter.
Yeah.
Just like diluting it slightly. Okay. So now you could totally leave it here, and I love this colour combo. Like I said, I love that we have the shimmer version of Madeline's t-shirt. But if you wanted to kind of amp it up slightly, or you want to kind of increase the wet look detail, but having a powder finish, you could take something like Halo, which is a more shimmery silver tone. I mean, these really do like layer well with any of the other colours, but this literally gives the appearance, you can see it kind of like a really intense shimmer. So just close me. So when it's patted into the centre, you just get a slight more appearance of like a wet eye look.
Whoa. It looks so cool.
And again, using your finger I think is best. I just find fingers like it just applies the product really nicely. So I'm just giving a good lash curl because I think especially like the look we're doing here is more like minimal extra. I feel like the eyes are extra, but I want everything else really, really minimal. So because of that, I want to make sure the lashes are really curled. And you can see I kind of go to town on my lash curling. It's one of those things that like, you could never curl your eyelashes too much. I'm even going to go in one more time here. Then I'm going to take this mascara from the Organic Skin Co. This is their mascara in black. I don't think it has a name, it's just their mascara. And it has a plastic wand, which I'm into. So just let right down for me, Madeline. Like I said, I kind of want to just keep the top lid heavy. I don't really want to do anything on the lower lashes. I don't even want mascara on the lower lashes. I just quite like that this is like one little hit of texture and colour. And then everything else is just really played down. So this is a brand that I really want to show you guys. It's called the Organic Skin Co. And I love that they do these palettes that are not only organic, but they are all vegan as well. And the beauty of their products are you can actually like choose what goes in the palette. So they do like 4s, they do 8s, and they do a mix of like cream blush, cream eyeshadows, cream highlighters. So I'm going to take, I think with this, a mix of those two on a kind of rounded kabuki brush. And I always like cream shadow again. I feel cream blush even if I'm doing something where I want the skin to look like skin and we want to keep that glow. And I tend to tap most of the excess off on the back of my hand first, and then I just kind of pat and roll and then blend. And it's worth remembering as well, whenever you kind of like start tapping the face, it's always going to bring the blood to the surface at first. So don't panic if you feel it looks more red or more pink. Give it like 10, 20 seconds for it to settle, and then you can actually see how much is the blush and how much is like the blood coming to the skin.
I just watched Gone with the Wind. Have you ever seen that?
Do you know what? I feel like I have, but years and years ago.
Yeah, I was on a flight, so I had like 4 hours to kill.
Nice.
And there's a scene where she looks in the mirror really quick and she like pinches her cheeks
Yeah.
before she goes downstairs. I thought that was so cute.
I love that. That's like OG makeup tips right there.
Yeah, because I feel like my mom has done that to me before too.
But in terms of like going vegan with your makeup, did you find it hard when you first started looking into vegan makeup and how you source the products you want to use?
Yeah, I did. I started with cruelty-free stuff first.
Yeah.
And then when I went vegan, I started buying vegan makeup. So then you're just looking for like beeswax or carmine or...
So that's like the key ingredients to avoid.
Lanolin.
Yes,
Those
lanolin's in a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah. But it was like a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
And you're still like learning about it. And
Well, don't you find the hardest thing is that a lot of brands, certain things start vegan and then sometimes they go back to not being vegan or vice versa. So sometimes there's a bit of jump backwards and forwards. So it's quite hard to always keep up to date with what's happening within the beauty industry.
yeah, especially like the cruelty-free brands.
Yes.
That changes a lot, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Which can be kind of confusing.
I'm just using a tiny bit of the more silvery highlighter just on the high points to keep the skin looking very glowy. And then just buffing over the top with the concealer brush so it doesn't look too obvious that it's a highlight. It's more just giving sheen to the skin. So I am going to take a tiny, tiny bit of powder now. And for me, my like OG powder, which I'm so happy is vegan, but even if it wasn't, it's like my favorite powder in my pro kit is the Hourglass one. And I even have it in a mini. That's how sad I am.
Oh, how cute.
Mini veil
love it.
powder. I love it. I think it's the best like finely milled powder. It's so, so good. It just sets makeup in a way that it still looks dewy all the time.
Do you use it all over or just on like the T-zone?
I'm going to do a mix on you. I'm going to
okay.
assess. So I'll always start with kind of like the T-zone first. And I think you'll see as soon as I put powder here, that straight away starts to make things work in a way that you could walk outside and not look too editorial skin, if that makes, because that's a question I get a lot actually. So I'm just taking a synthetic brush. And I like to have like a big brush and a small brush actually. So I'm using 2 different sizes. I find you want to start with your smaller one just so you can make the placement quite precise. So I'm just going to start around the nose. And I kind of think like here, as soon as you take a tiny bit of powder just there, then straight away it knocks back any sheen here that say, especially if you do have more oily skin and you want to play with cream-based products, that's the bit that you feel is going to draw more attention. Same with here. And I'm not using loads and loads of product, guys. You know, again, if you had really, really oily skin, then I would recommend using like a velour puff and just pat and roll, but still make sure the edges, any skin that's not oily, you don't want to be adding loads of powder there if it doesn't need it. So just focus where you need it. And then I'm just look up for me, Madeline. I'm going to do a little bit under the eye just to set that concealer. And another thing you can do as well with that oil that I showed you at the beginning, I absolutely love this Wonder Oil, is at the end, just take, like, that's probably like 2 drops, just like massage it into your skin, and then just tap it just on top. Like a little bit extra glow that still looks really pretty and soft. And if you're tapping it in, you're not going to move your foundation or kind of disrupt any blending work you've done. So onto lips, and to finish this look, I actually am going to add like a mix of two. So I'm going to take a bit of Generation G in Cake, and then this brand is amazing. This is Axiology, I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is another organic vegan beauty brand, and the shade Noble is just it looks like one of those colours that when you first look at it, you think, oh, Harry, that looks a bit of a grandma colour. Trust me, we're going to see. I'm going to show it in action. So I'm starting with a bit of Cake first, which is quite a matte. And I'm just going to use that just to tint the lips slightly. And the Axiology colour has almost like a sort of two-tone pink and coralline, which is so pretty on the lips. And I've used this actually before in a live, and I remember loads of you guys asking me about it afterwards. So I promise it's not a granny lipstick. Unless, like, you know, that's cool too. And now I'm going to take Axiology lipstick in Noble. We're just going to do it. It's like, it's so sheer, the lipstick. I think it looks like it's going to be full pigment, and that's why it looks scary. But even if I go in from the bullet, you just get this really pretty, like subtle coral hue that is actually really complementary with this kind of eyeshadow colour. So you can see how sheer it is. It's not scary at all.
Smells good.
It does smell good. It smells like orangey. And that's pretty much the finished look, guys. Like I said, a little bit of playtime with Madeline. It was very fun to paint your face.
It looks so good. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you for coming in.
Yes, thank you. I love it.
And we're going to do something over on Madeline's channel as well.
Yes.
So we're going to play with more colour. Because I feel like, don't you feel like when people think of like vegan natural makeup, they kind of sometimes get stuck in this idea of like natural tones and earthy tones, which is great too. But it's nice to find the brands that offer really bright, vibrant colours.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what I usually stick to because that's
Yeah.
what I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to have you over there to like play with.
Yeah, let's get you out of your
More.
comfort zone.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So that's the finished look, guys. Thank you so much, Madeline, for letting me borrow your face.
Thank you. I love it.
It was so fun to do, and lots of easy tips and tricks in there. Hopefully some new products, some products you guys might already know. Don't forget to head over to Madeline's channel. I'll leave her links in the description box where we're doing another look over on her channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Harry Makes It Up and subscribe so you don't miss a video. And I'll see you guys very soon.